Where are those blind spots for you and your team? What can you do to identify someone or a different team or a different organization who can help plug those gaps and add on to your offering? And what can you offer back to them to entice them in? Hi, and welcome to Helping You Perform. I'm your host, Paul Teasdale. Over a career working with high-performing teams from across the globe, including 7 years working with Formula One team McLaren, I've learned a lot about what it takes to drive results. In this weekly podcast series, I'm going to be bringing you tips, tricks and insights from the world of Formula One that you can apply to your organisation for your high performance. Enjoy. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Helping You Perform, where I bring my tips, tricks, insights and stories from the world of F1 and help you to accelerate your own performance. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode 42, which was all about celebrating success and about, as a leader, how do you celebrate those small and those big wins with everyone in the organisation and help link everybody to the role they've played in helping the business succeed in all of that glory. In this week's episode, I wanted to touch a little bit about partnerships and particularly about how opposites can attract in business and in any organization, individually, whatever it might be, so that you can get the best performance and get partnerships that add more to each other than the sum of their own parts. Now, this has come about from a couple of areas. One, recently I was talking with a client about a leadership team looking to build their strategy for 5 years. I was helping to facilitate that session for them. And there's a lot of understanding of the individuals, how they operate, but also what are the little gaps that they've got? What are their blind spots as individuals? So that they can marry up with others who have strengths in those areas of blind spots. And you can use that to the advantage of understanding where your challenges might be, where your limitations might be as an individual, and partnering up with someone to say, I've just done this piece of work. I know that I'm very good on the creative side, but maybe not so great on the facts and figures or the presentation of the way in which this goes and selling it within the organization. Can I just get your views on this? And can you look at it from a different angle so that we can work together and create something for the business that is better than if I'd have just done it myself or if you'd have just done it yourself? Now, when I was working with McLaren, I spent my time, first of all, with the alliance that we had with KPMG, and that translated in later years into the alliance that we had with Deloitte. Now, you might look at these and say, actually, what is that partnership bringing from each side when you're talking about a Formula One team and a multinational professional services business? Now, what these businesses have done is realize that actually where our blind spots are, we can bring in a partner to help us to move forward in a way that we never could have done ourselves. So from the McLaren side of it, having the heft and the weight of organizations like Deloitte, for instance, who are a global organization with so many people, so much business experience, and most importantly from the McLaren side, so many business contacts to get them through the door to help sell their services. And from a Deloitte side, what's the advantage of having a smaller organization being partnered with? Well, you might think, what is it they're getting out of it? Yes, they can sponsor McLaren and they can have that link to them. But actually what they were bringing was a new level and a new lens on the expertise that they had so that they could bring something that their competition did not have. So when you're looking to secure big multinational deals, to have something extra, another string to the bow, another angle on performance that your competitors don't have, suddenly puts you at a huge competitive advantage. And the great thing about a business like McLaren, there's lots of opportunity for promotional activity, lots of the shiny, the big events, being able to take clients to Formula One races and host them and take them down to the garage and give them an experience that no other partnership could have done. So what was great about these partnerships is each side said, we've got some strengths, but we've got some gaps. How do we marry up with another organization, another team within the organization? It can be individuals one-on-one. How do we identify our own strengths and blind spots and identify those who are almost polar opposite to us so that we can bounce ideas off each other and together create something that is greater than the sum of our parts? So that's my challenge to you. And whatever organization you're in, what are you doing to identify your blind spots, understand your strengths, and seek out opportunities to partner with people, either individuals, other teams within your organization, other departments? It might be external organizations. Where are those blind spots for you that you can actually plug in with a partnership whereby you can add back some value? Now, this can be anything from, scale where you haven't got scale, or expertise where you haven't got expertise. It might be around opportunities that you can bring. Like you might want a new piece of technology, for instance, on your production line, and you've got somebody who's out there who is actually looking to develop some software or develop a solution. This is a real example that I'm working with at the moment. Develop a solution, and they need a test bed. They need somewhere where they can run their equipment, run their software, and gather a lot of data. Well, you want that data. They want to gather the data. They want to build their product. Can you collaborate together in such a way where together you are building something that is of value to both parties, and you are sort of plugging those blind spots and plugging those areas that you don't necessarily have access to? So have a think about that for yourself. Where are those blind spots for you and your team? What can you do to identify someone or a different team or a different organization who can help plug those gaps and add on to your offering? And what can you offer back to them to entice them in? As always, if you'd like to discuss this any further, please get in touch with me. Go to paulteasdale.co.uk and click on that box to get yourself a free 30-minute catch-up. I've had some amazing conversations with people learning about what can they do to take some of these lessons and apply them to their organization to accelerate their own performance. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Helping You Perform podcast. If you found value in this episode, please take a moment to like, share, or review the podcast. You can reach out to me at any time, either through LinkedIn or through my website at www.paulteasdale.co.uk. I look forward to speaking to you in the next episode.